I feel great.
I am healthy.
Good things, they always come to me.
My tribe is my vibe.
My thoughts come my reality, Dad.
This is the A.I.M Positivity Podcast. This experience is dedicated to you and your soul. We will dig deep to uncover the greatness that is within you through affirmations, the power of influence, and aligning with your mind through meditation. These are A.I.M principles towards positivity, and the journey begins.
Welcome back to the A.I.M Positivity Podcast. I am your host, Taqiy Muhammad. Episode number 2, round 2. The journey continues. Just want to take a moment and say thank you to everyone that listened to episode number 1, who supported, who felt the positivity, who really gave me some good feedback. And at the end of the day, it was all positive. It was all positive, and that's my goal. That's my goal with this podcast. Now, where can you view the A.I.M Positivity Podcast, and where can you listen to? What platforms? So to view, YouTube, right? Simply type in search bar the A.I.M Positivity Podcast. Remember, positivity instead of TY, it's TEE. Simply subscribe. Where to listen? I didn't even realize how many podcast platforms and apps there were, but I wrote this down. I want to be precise. So where you can listen to the A.I.M Positivity Podcast: the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Overcast, Podcast Addict, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, Deezer, Podcast Index, and Podfriend. Yeah, that was a lot. So those are all the podcasting platforms thus far. It's going to be more. I want to spread that positivity and as many platforms as possible, but I wanted to just kind of provide you with the various platforms that you can listen to. And of course, on Buzzsprout. All right. So episode 1's out the way. Episode 2. This is a really exciting episode. I'm really pumped for this one. Now, the affirmation for today's episode is simply this: I always align with my true self. One more time. I always align with my true self. What does that mean? Align. You must, with your true self, you must be in a position in your life with your principles, your morals, your personal mission statement. You must always reflect back on those principles and to make sure that it resonates with you, to make sure that it connects with you. Okay, that's with your aligning with your true self. Now, sounds easy, right? Okay, I just align with my true self. What does that mean? Life is always going to bring some challenges to us, always going to test our true character. Now, sometimes in life, we may be in positions where we may be out of our character, right? We may be influenced negatively by someone, or we may be in a situation where our character is being tested. So this particular episode is really dedicated to aligning with your true self, who you really are. Make sure that that connection with what you believe in, what your faith in, what your goals are, is always centered around and connect to who you are as an individual. Okay, very important. Now, this affirmation really connects with me. There was times in my life where my character was being tested. Okay, growing up, I told you my story of growing up in Brooklyn, New York. There was times where I had to really make a decision, right? There was some negative influences when I was a little kid that say, hey, let's do this thing. And my heart, my intuition told me, that doesn't feel right. That's really not me. That is really not me. But sometimes as a kid or sometimes as a youth, you have to learn through experiences. So I didn't always take the best direction when it comes to decisions. That's part of growing up. That's part of experiences. For the most part, I did. And it took me until my adulthood to really understand alignment, really understand the importance of, regardless of any scenario that I'm in, to always bring it back, to utilize my intuition, utilize my faith, utilize my thoughts, and go back to my true essence of who I am. Once I'm in alignment, nothing can stop me. Okay? Why? Because I know who I am. I know what my true self is. So the first step in aligning with your true self is really understanding, who are you? What do you believe in? What do you firmly believe in? What's your principles? What's your morals? What's your ethics? Once you find that out and once you can define who you are as a person, then it doesn't matter the scenario. You just got to always be conscious of your principles and always align any a scenario, any life situation that comes your way. Since you know who you are, you're going to be able to connect it. That's pure alignment. Aligning who you are, your true self, with any life situation that comes your way. That's this affirmation. I always align with my true self. Now, what's next? It's easy for me to have a prolonged conversation about how I have aligned with my true self, but let's hop on over to our influence section and listen to this interview of how aligning with his true self paid dividends in his life. I got in front of me right now Mr. Jose Arias, aka Bless One Beats. Jose, how
Yes,
you doing today,
sir.
man?
Great. Yourself, Taqiy? How you
I'm
doing?
good, man. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm good. And thank you for allowing us to hear your voice and to accept the AIM Positivity podcast, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Uh, Thank you for your time. And, we're going to share a great message. And it's all about positivity, especially in the times we're living in right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, Jose, I like to say COVID birthed the AIM Positivity podcast, so we definitely need that positivity.
In a way, everybody wanted this to happen, not the way the media is putting it out there, but it's
For
cleaning out
sure.
vibrations. It's cleaning out vibrations, things that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't working, things that, people that want to work from home, people that, kids that wanted to stay home from school. So
For
there's a
sure.
lot of things that it was in the air and it manifested itself. And, we're gonna get over this, and with time, and just stay positive. Day by day, taking it day by day, we'll get over this.
For sure, for sure. I love that you said COVID cleaned the vibration. I mean, everyone is expecting this new norm, right? Well, I don't want it. I
Hmm.
don't want the old norm, right? So I am open.
Yeah,
My heart is open. My mind is open. I'm ready for something new because what we were doing in the past was hurting us, humanity. It was hurting our environment. It was hurting us energetically.
yes.
You know what I'm
So the
saying?
earth is cleaning itself. It's like when you take a shower. I did a
Yeah.
quick. It's the same thing. It has to clean up the air, the
Yep.
house, the car. It's the same thing when humans need to clean up too. With
I love
with
that.
putting positive energy vibration into your life and all
Yes,
the
sir.
people around you.
Jose, so tell the listeners right now, tell the audience, where you from?
From Lawrence, Massachusetts, which is 30 minutes north of Boston. I'm on the
Okay.
border of New Hampshire, New England. Well,
Yep.
we're from all over the world. We connect. We're original people.
Yes,
And my
sir.
parents are from Dominican Republic, but I'm a first generation born here in
Oye,
America.
dímelo. Oye, dímelo.
Que lo que, to
¿Qué
mi
lo
gente.
que? Where DR, man? I actually been to DR a couple of times. I love DR, man. Where in DR
My
your family
parents
from?
are they're from Tenare. That's a
Denare.
small rural, yeah, rural,
Yes, sir.
from outside, a little, suburban from Tenare, a little more, it's
Yep.
Canete.
Yep.
Every town has a little city and little,
For sure.
uh,
For sure. For sure. Talk to us about Lawrence, man. Talk to us about your upbringing. How was it growing up in Lawrence, man?
Lawrence is an immigrant city. So like any immigrant city, like my parents came here to for work, for betterment for their family,
Mm-hmm.
betterment for us, for the kids. It's a mill city. So
Okay.
there was a lot of factories. My parents, my mom was a stitcher. She worked for New Balance. My dad, he also he was a machine operator. He worked at
Mm-hmm.
factories doing shoes and sneakers. So there was immigrant workers. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's why they came to Lawrence. And there's a lot of Dominicans, a lot of Latin people, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, a lot of immigrants. Like every couple years, every couple decades, a new immigrant group comes in.
Mm-hmm.
As you
Mm-hmm.
can see, it changes every couple
Mm-hmm.
years. So it's an immigrant city. So it's a small urban. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
good people. But like with urban life, it comes with is good and bad. But you gotta
Mm-hmm.
use that energy and flip it around to be positive.
For sure, for sure. Hey, you meant, and you're absolutely right. Urban environments, it comes with the good and it comes with the bad. Let's talk about any trials and tribulations that you faced in your life in Lawrence.
What helped me a lot was music. Music kept me off the streets. Music kept me off being in gangs.
Okay,
Music kept me off staying off trouble. As much as possible because hip hop. In the '90s, it was
of
no joke.
course.
It's
I
not
was
like
I
now
was
like
just
that.
about to ask you what era. So what era did music really play a role in your life?
I would say the golden era. I would say like Big Daddy Kane, Biz
Okay,
Markie, Marley
okay. So
Marl,
we like so we like so
Gangstar.
we like 86, 88, 89 type ordeal.
89. Yeah, yeah, that's the
Yep.
first golden era. And
Yep.
when the '90s, that was like the second golden era. I would say
For sure.
Biggie, Wu Tang,
For sure.
Nas,
For sure. Dre, Snoop,
Dr.
West
Dre,
Coast.
yeah, Snoop,
Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
Down south, they was killing it too. They still are.
You saw, danger in the streets, danger in your environment, but you always were attracted to music, right? What age
hmm
were you? What age were you? You said the golden era. So what age were you when you found that, hey, music is my passion and I want to focus on my passion opposed to, dibbling dabbling in the streets.
I was DJ at family parties. My
Okay.
father trusted me with the equipment,
Hmm.
with the music equipment, so I was into electronics. But when I started DJing with other local DJs, when we didn't have all the equipment, one had one turntable, I had another turntable, another DJ friend of ours had the mixer, another friend DJ had another speaker. That's
it was
how
like
we came together.
it was like a
Yeah, we was
conglomerate.
teenage.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a
That's
collaboration.
cool.
We
That's
didn't
dope.
have it all coming from the ghetto. We didn't
Yep,
have it all.
for
So we
sure.
improvised. This is hip hop. We improvised. When we started throwing hooky parties when we was teenagers, we was getting paid like $75 between four of us. All we
Hmm.
do buy sandwiches or something to
Yeah.
drink right after the party. I don't know if you guys know what hooky parties is.
Oh yeah,
Hooky
of course, of
parties were
course.
illegal parties with,
Mm-hmm.
with high schoolers in college.
Mm-hmm.
They throw parties at 6 in the morning or 7 when somebody's
Mm-hmm.
parents leave to work. We
Mm-hmm.
set up in the basement. Being that I was in the streets and that I could be in any neighborhood because I was the DJ. I could be in any neighborhood. I was like, I ain't never joining no crew, no gangs,
Mm.
because you got to be on one side. I like being in all sides.
Yes, sir.
I'm not in one particular party.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with everybody. I'm with love. So that's one of the first pinnacle moments as a teenager. I was like, you know what? Street stuff and this gang and
Not for
violence
me.
is not for me. It's
Not
not
for
for
me.
me. Yeah,
That's
that's
for
why I
me.
was always to the music. Yeah, music
For
has
sure.
helped me a lot.
For sure. For sure, Zay. So, right now, present day, you have been a major influencer in the music and the television scene, right? You've been a huge
Yes.
influencer. Tell the audience, tell the listeners exactly what you do.
I do production music. I'm a composer. I started doing beats. In the '90s, you was sampling. Hip hop, East Coast hip
Mm-hmm.
hop was basically sampling old jazz, soul records, progressive rock.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank God for hip hop because of hip hop you could mix country, jazz, house,
For sure.
electronic, all in one pile, in one gumbo, one soup.
Yep.
So that's one of the greatest things about hip hop that you could have all those elements. What got me into the production music was because of DJing. I went from spinning other people's music to
Yep.
I want to create my own music. So there was kids in high school that was asking me, "Hey, can you make me a beat? Can you? I'm doing a talent show. Can you make me something? I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna sing." I was like, that's when I started dealing with from production, from DJing. Just
Yep.
just instrumentals from records to creating my own music. And from there
Mm.
it developed. It took time, and I started producing hip hop when I was 17 or 18 years old professionally with Edo G, Scientific,
Mm-hmm.
Big Shook from Gangstar. So right after high school, I started getting into professional producing hip hop.
Mm.
So doing the rap music, producing rap music, a couple years doing the underground scene, going to New
Yep.
York, back and forth, being in Gangstar videos. We'll probably pop up. I've been acting in a couple scenes with Big
Mm-hmm.
Sugar and Gangstar. Learning the ropes, going to New York, learning from Premiere, learning from different producers and engineers at D&D Studio. That's how I got better with time. And I was like, this, the 2000s started coming. I was like, there's a new way. There has to be a new way. So I started seeing that they started playing hip hop beats behind sports, behind reality TV. So
Yeah, yeah, for
I was
sure,
like,
for sure.
so this is another avenue to get into instead of just rap music. So that's
Mm.
how I got into that, and I started doing research. I had a business manager look into it. So that's how I got into it in the 2000s because I started. I wanted to branch off and grow from there.
Jose,
Hmm.
that's special because not many people that come from your experience will even think, hey, I'm noticing hip hop on TV. Most people want to just, hey, let me just stay with the trend of trying to make beats and be a producer for artists and things of that nature. But you thought
Hmm.
the other way and you saw the potential, you saw a gap, you saw something that um almost uncharted territories, right? Especially coming from your environment. I mean, I know that wasn't a popular discussion to, hey, let's make some
No,
beats for TV, right?
I don't have no one yet. My parents are not from Hollywood. I have
Yep.
not no connections. This all from the ground up. I started
Hmm.
emailing, going to different seminars, going on any meetings they had in New York,
Hmm.
California, or Miami. I will go to different music conferences, and network and build with different key executives.
That's
Hmm.
admirable. That's admirable. And sidebar, how Jose and myself know each other. So once upon a time, I was in the
That's
TV. I was in the TV game, right? I
yeah,
was a
yeah.
producer and I was editor. I actually had a
We got to
10-year
get you back
career.
in there. We got to get you back in there for real.
hey, hey,
I'm gonna
hey!
talk to
I'm in it
Bug
right
and them.
now.
I'm gonna talk to
I'm in
we're
it right
doing it right
now.
now. Yeah, I'm gonna push you to get back with those contacts. I've been in contact with them too, with Bug and them.
Actually, you absolutely right. Ali Bug, that's my guy. He's my mentor. Ramon Ali Bug, that was my guy.
Yes, peace. That's my
Yeah.
man right there. Yes,
Ramon, you
yes.
hearing this, man? Love is love, man. Love is love,
Does
Ramon.
great work.
I remember working with you on several shows, but didn't really have much communication with you. But the main show, I remember having in-depth communication. It was almost my job to make sure that the beats and make sure that instrumentals was being incorporated into the show. Was 2009, President Obama, right? President Obama was getting sworn into the office, and
Wow.
and I worked for BET at the time,
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
we did a Yes We Will inauguration show. You remember that?
Yes, we did before he was inaugurated. I think
Before, yep.
for election and for
Mm-hmm.
the that was one of my greatest accomplishments. That was a great monumental time. First
For
black
sure.
president,
For sure. For
and
sure.
and here we are. Doing BET. I think it was 4 million viewers that watched it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was a
and my
huge show. That was a huge show.
one of my biggest accomplishments that I'm proud of. I'm gonna take that for the
For
rest of my life. That's
for
one of the
sure.
greatest accomplishments. You know, this Obama thing when he became president. I was in my parents' house 10 years prior in their basement when I had a studio there
Okay.
before I moved out. I was saying one day there will be a black president.
You said that.
One day there will be a black president. And
Wow.
look at that.
Manifested it.
I end up,
Manifested
yeah.
it.
So that's one of the things that one of my manifestations that I tell that one of the greatest accomplishments so far for me is
For
that
sure.
because I'll say one day there will be a black president while I was doing music, well, making beats. And look at 10 years later, it manifested itself.
Definitely important. Glad you shared that with the audience, right? Because that
Hmm.
showcases the importance of manifestation, and that's what the AIM Positivity Podcast is all about, right?
Yep.
So definitely appreciate you sharing that with us. Want to talk to you about you being in the business. You're still currently in the business. Any type of like challenges or any type of pitfalls that you experience in the business?
I'm overcoming that now. It's
Okay.
when executives try to tell you how to do your music. I understand they give you an example, like a feeling, but another one is that like even when we did the Obama and a lot of the TV shows we did on MTV or VH1 or BET,
Yep.
a lot of that music it was done strictly from heart to mind. It was done it didn't matter. I did it on pure vibration, pure being aligned. I didn't do
Mm-hmm.
it then telling me executives telling me I want this, I want that. They usually tell me what direction they want. Someone that's not hip hop from the hip hop culture telling you how to do hip hop.
Mm.
That's the number one thing. But once you align, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Mm,
matter because you just
mm.
gotta create from mind to heart and then just be aligned. That's all that matters. You being in vibration with yourself.
You know what? That's a perfect segue. That's a perfect segue because this episode, this particular episode, is our affirmation. I align with my true self. So I'm so glad you just mentioned the word align. That is exactly what this episode on the AIM Positivity Podcast is about. What does that affirmation mean to you? I align with my true self.
You're not diluting no outside influence.
Okay.
Being true to yourself is how you feel, your intuition, your gut
Mm,
feeling, your heart
mm-hmm,
to mind. How's
mm-hmm,
that connection?
mm-hmm.
And no matter what's happening outside of that, you stay aligned because you shouldn't let nothing outside of you get your vibration wobbly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No matter what circumstances you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't let no outside influence change your mood or your vibration or how you align. And
Mm.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's not easy. Sounds easy coming through my mouth, but it's not easy because we're always dealing with people, situations, places, and things, and things are always happening. You can't control your outside, but what you could control is yourself.
Now, how has that kind of impacted your life, like your career?
You're doing creating art that's being true to yourself without going what style,
Mm.
what's in
The
what's top
fads.
10, the
Mm-hmm.
fads. You're
Mm-hmm.
doing really what resonate with yourself.
Yeah, that's definitely powerful. Definitely powerful. And it's paying dividends to your career right now. You continuously being conscious. That's one thing. Being conscious of being in line with your true
Mhm.
self. Any type of specific advice you can give the listeners, give the audience in regards to how they could try to, align with their true inner self.
True stuff. I would say meditate in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Start going to YouTube, listening to some Abraham Hicks, listen
Mm-hmm.
to Joe Dispenza, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Listen to
Mm-hmm.
some law of attraction, self help, meditation helps a lot. You know, coming up from the urban environment, we didn't have those tools like we have now.
When did the law of attraction, the concept of law of attraction, thoughts become reality, think it into existence, aligning with your true self, everything that has infiltrated your mind, that you choose to infiltrate your mind, your body, your soul, that you seek on YouTube and other outlets to try to get this guidance. What when did this kind of and since you're from the urban area and that wasn't preached and practiced or even talked about growing up, I can attest to that as well. What time in your life did you become enlightened with law of attraction, with manifestation, things of that nature?
I've been on this law of attraction. You know, everybody's born with it. Even before being
For sure.
physically born with it, I'm gonna correct. How about reintroduce to it? Because everybody's born with law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got reacquainted with it because school, family, friends, environment. That is a different circle. So once you get influenced by all those different circles,
For
friends,
sure.
family, school, work, all those are influencers
For
somehow,
sure.
some way, little by little, they influence you. When I got reintroduced, it was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was really through marketing.
Mm.
I had a business partner, yeah, that introduced me. He had the cassette tapes to Tony Robbins.
Mm.
So through Tony Robbins, I got into Napoleon Hill,
Yep.
and then from Napoleon Hill, there's a bunch of marketing guys that positive, and I got into the law of attraction through marketing. That's
That's amazing.
yeah. It's you would not think being an entrepreneur, you look for stuff for I didn't know it was called self help.
Mm.
So that was another
Mm-hmm.
one. So
Mm-hmm.
through these marketing, they started referencing Bob Proctor, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of a
Brian
lot of
Tracy. Yeah.
Brian Tracy, Les
Mm-hmm.
Brown.
Les Brown.
There's,
Yep.
there's many positive self-help talkers.
you've been a plethora of information just with your knowledge, your wisdom, and more important, your experience. Your experience is complete influential, and something that really, 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 I hope would resonate with people and inspire people. Inspire people. Once again, you
That's what
thought out.
here.
One thing that resonated with me is you thought outside the box. And that's important in any form of entrepreneurship, right? You're in the music, hip hop genre, right? You could have easily just stayed in that lane and could have been producing
Yeah,
for
doing beats.
rap.
Yeah, rappers. It's for
Yeah,
rappers.
yeah, on
Fixing the
TV
ambulance.
and have that whole facade. But what you chose, you saw something, you had an aha moment, and you seeked it, right? You manifested, you thought it, and then more importantly, you aligned with it. You thought about it, you researched it, and then you took action. You took
That's one of the
action
keys. That's one of the keys because we could think here a million thoughts
for
and
sure.
$1 million thoughts, but if you're not putting it into action, it doesn't mean nothing. We could hear meditate till we turn blue. If we're not
Hmm.
making action, making phone calls, emails, Zoom, you got to change with the times. If you're not changing and activating and motivating and creating, you're gonna be left back. You got to move forward motion, but here now. Be
In the
content,
now.
have gratitude, be happy
Hmm.
here now. It's always because we can't think about if we're gonna breathe a year from now. You get what I'm saying?
For
I know
sure.
I gotta breathe now. I gotta breathe
That's
now. I
right.
gotta be happy now.
That's right. And that's one of the things I live by, and it's hard. If you think about it,
It
that's
is.
to be in the now
It
because
sounds easy. It sounds easy, right? It's a everyday. It's as easy as it's
Hmm.
coming out of my mouth. I'm practicing every day, and I'm living and learning every day. I don't
For
know everything.
sure.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to every day learn something.
Forever a student. You know what? And we on the same vibration because that's my mindset, Jose. My mindset
Hmm.
is, how can I be in the now? How can I be conscious? And how can I recognize when I'm dipping out of that vortex, right?
Hmm.
Recognizing it because I want to get back into it. I want to get back into that good feeling. I want to get back
Yeah.
into that, you know? One thing that helped me in my life, right? And I've had so many different journeys in my life, right? And I
Hmm.
look at life as just chapters of experiences, right? And just going with the flow. Like I make actions off of how I feel about it. Like I check in with
Yeah.
myself,
That's
with
how
my
I do
feelings.
music. Yeah, yeah. That's how I
Mhm.
do music. With
Right?
my
Well, how
how
I
I feel. That's
feel.
what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm going through that day. That's how the
Yeah.
vibes come out.
And I noticed, partner cut you off. I noticed that,
Yeah.
there's people that could almost block what they feel and almost want to go with someone else's experiences because that type of influence.
And
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You know what that is? That's powers and numbers. People think being in numbers makes them. So you get three people that's uncomfortable. That's a team right there. But
Mm.
one person aligned equals a million people not aligned.
Mm.
So that's why people get together either for good or bad, either way.
Mm-hmm.
But more people when they need support or whatever, they lean towards they. But you don't need no one. All you need
Mm-hmm.
is your heart and your mind. You just need yourself. You don't need nothing outside of yourself. The more
For
you look
sure.
for outside of yourself, the more out of line you are.
The more you look outside of yourself, the harder it is for you to be aligned.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget that I take from this from
That's
from
a
this
gem.
conversation. This has been more than a
Yes,
blessing. More than a
yeah.
blessing. Jose, where
Thank
can
you.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning of the
Yeah.
AIM Positivity Podcast. You have a movement yourself, on your social media. You like to spew positive energy, positive words, positive messages. Where can the people find you on social media?
On Instagram, right now that's my major one is at Bless One Beats, BLESSONEBEATS. So Bless One Beats, everything spelled out at Instagram. You can hit me there. You can check out the positive message. You can check out my music.
For
I post
sure.
stuff that kids, what I'm going through the studio, wellness, just all around positivity. We try to keep it.
Any parting words, anything you want to leave the audience with, any parting words, words of inspiration, anything that come to mind, anything that you feel right now.
During these times, try to build into yourself. either books, audio books, anything positive, self help, anything to dig into yourself. This is a time for reflection, time to build yourself. Um, think of new ideas, new ways of doing things. This is a new time we're living in. So just stay aligned, stay positive, mind to heart, and just do good things, and everything will work out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Jose. Bless One
Mm.
Beats is in the house. AIM
Yes, sir. Yes,
Positivity
sir.
Podcast.
Yes.
Man, thank you so
Yes, sir.
much, guys.
Thank
Hey,
you.
right now, you're very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. Energy flows where attention goes. Hey, guys, let's go head over and meditate right now. AIM Positivity.
Peace.
All right, everyone. We are winding down episode 2 of the AIM Positivity Podcast. We are going through our guided meditation. Hope everyone had a good journey with us today. Hope you've learned some things. More importantly, I hope this episode brought positivity into your life. For this guided meditation is very important. You simply sit back. You can be in any position you want to be right now. Just listen, close your eyes, and just vibe. We're going to start the guided meditation on our affirmation. And we begin. Close your eyes and take some deep breaths in. One step in, one step out. One more deep breath in. Another deep breath out. Clear your mind of all thoughts to your best ability. And let's focus on our affirmation word. I always align with my true self. Repeat that constantly in your head. Take a deep breath in. And when you go out, inside of your mind, exhale. I always align with my true self. I always align with my true self. Continue to repeat that. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, saying, I always align with my true self. Repeat in your mind. I always align with my true self. Regardless of any life scenarios, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the decision you have to make. Repeat. I always align with my true self. Allow this to be your mantra for today. I always align with my true self. I always align with my true self. I always align with my true self. Continue to breathe in and out. I always align with my true self. Continue to repeat. I always align with my true self. Continue to focus on your breath. continue to focus on the affirmation word. I always align with my true self. You will be challenged, but you will overcome the challenge. I always align with my true self. When you're ready, you can start slowly awakening. Open your eyes. Start feeling sensation in your hands and legs. Allow this affirmation word to guide you today. Allow this affirmation word to consistently be a reminder. I always align with my true self. Thank you for tuning in to the A.I.M Positivity Podcast. We air every Monday. You can rely on an affirmation. You can be influenced. And we can always end the podcast with a guided meditation. Have a great remainder of your day. I always align with my true self. Take care.